Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to introduce you to the project that we're going to build together. So this is the basic website. The name of the website is basic, and this is in relation to our other two projects that we have built in this tutorial series. This is the biggest yet. There is a lot of moving parts. There is a lot of components for this website. I've actually come up with some cool functionality for this website as well. So first, let's just go ahead and let's dive into how this website looks on a desktop view, and then we are going to jump into a responsive design mode and take a look at how responsive this website actually is. So the first section is the header of our website, and then we have the hero section, and as we come down, something cool happens. Our navigation, it seems to be fixed. The logo changes. This is in fact an SVG. It changes from this light version to a dark version. We are going to implement that with JavaScript. And then this header, it also curves around the bottom of it. It has curves around the bottom. Then we have our hero section, and after that, the next section is going to be the features section. In here we have 3 cards. Each of them they have specific set of animations. So in these animations, when you hover on them, first off we have that border radius, that border around them with some sort of border radius, and then that shape behind that rounded rectangle, rounded triangle shape behind this shape that actually rotates as well. And when you come and hover on the learn more, we can see that this element, it moves away from the text to the right. And there is something else that I'm going to teach you as well in this website, and that is how you can actually animate or transition background images as well. So we can see that there is a gradient as the background for this button, and in CSS gradients, they're actually background images. And I'm going to teach you how you can basically animate these gradients as well on hover. It's like a little bit more aesthetically pleasing to users. The same thing happens here as well, but it is really subtle. If you just paid really close attention, then you will be able to see them. So this is the about section. After the about section, we have the Y section with some custom shapes, which I'm going to teach you how you can create these shapes as well. Now, the cool thing about this theme section is that when we go to our responsive design, these icons, these social icons that are hovering, they're going to be static. So there is not going to be any hover, because this hover, when you hover on these images, what it actually means is that it is not going to be accessible on mobile. So you need to provide fallback for mobile devices as well, for the kind of devices for which their primary medium for use is touch. So the primary medium for use for laptops, it's a mouse. Even for laptops whose screens they're touch, the primary pointing device is the mouse. But for phones, the primary pointing device is touch. So we need to come up with some sort of fallback for mobile devices. When someone views this website on a mobile device, we need to make sure that they can see these social media icons as well. Now, the cool part that I would really like about this website is that I've actually incorporated Swiper.js. It's a very lightweight JavaScript library that allows us to basically do this. So we can swipe to left or to right cards. We can also use these arrows as well. So I'm gonna show you how we can code that. Now the actual functionality that comes from Swiper.js, but the styling, that is something that we're gonna actually code it. Then we have the blog section, and then we have that newsletter, and finally we have the footer for this website. So let's go to inspect. Let's take a look at how responsive this website actually is. So I'm going to go to top, and I'm going to keep decreasing the width of the window, and you can see how it responds. So below 850 something, we can see that the logo and the navigation, they're basically on top of each other. So they're stacked vertically as opposed to being stacked, sitting next to each other horizontally. And then at around, I think it is 650, yes, we can see our navigation. It has switched to the left. So the position of the navigation is different. And when I click on it, the animation for it is different as well. And it has a curvy top line as well, which I'm going to teach you all about that. And if we come down here, so you could say this is almost a tablet view, and everything is still accessible, still viewable by all users. But there is a problem actually with these cards, because these are not going to work this way on the kind of devices whose primary pointing device or primary pointing tool is like touch. And below 650, the background color for this for the header also is going to change. Now, there is something that you need to keep in mind when you're creating websites with Chrome or with Firefox. So as Chrome is concerned, as far as Chrome is concerned, when you go to responsive side, to the responsive navigation of Chrome, it is by default, the touch simulation is active for Chrome by default. So what do I mean by that? I'm just going to open up Chrome and I'm going to grab this URL. I'm just going to copy that and I'm basically going to paste it in Chrome, and we are going to take a look at that in Chrome. Let's go to Chrome, let's paste it, let's hit enter. There we go. So this is our website, right? So I'm going to go inspect, and from inspect, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this on the bottom and I'm going to say 1500. So this is how our website is going to look like when it is on Chrome. It is not going to be any different than when it is on Firefox. The only thing is that this pointer that you can see right here, this faded dark circle, this actually simulates a touch device. So when you go to the responsive navigation or responsive view for Chrome, it is by default in touch simulation. The touch simulation is active. What do I mean by that? So if I come in here, if I hover on this button, you no longer can see that hover, the background image is no longer hovering. But if I come in here, you can see it is hovering because it is not in touch simulation. So what Chrome actually is trying to do for us, it is actually trying to simulate if this website is on sort of a touch device, like a mobile or a tablet or something like that. So you can see that none of these hover effects, they actually work. If you click on them, then they work, but other than that, they don't really work. So let's come into our cards, and the cool thing about the cards is that I've coded this website in this way that the card section, the team section of our website, it is going to be smart. It's going to be a little bit intelligent. So it's going to detect whether the primary pointing device, the primary pointing for this device, whether that is touch or whether that is like mouse. So if it is mouse, then it is basically going to show us the cards like this. When you hover on them with the mouse, then these social media icons, they swipe from the left or right, or they just appear. But what if you're on a mobile device? Then there is no mouse cursor, so they have to be shown in some way. Now, the easiest way is that if someone views on our website on a mobile device, what we want to do is we don't want to provide any kind of hover effects, nothing, and we just want to showcase our social media icons. So this is how the website is going to look like when it is viewed on a tablet or on a mobile phone, and this is how it is going to look like when viewed on a desktop machine. Now, you might be asking, okay, why does Firefox shows me like this and Chrome by default it shows us like this? Now, the Firefox, it actually has a little bit more capability. Now, when you go to responsive tab, you could view your website like this, or you could come to here. So you can see it says enable touch simulation. So when you click on this button, you have this choice. You have control over your website, whether you want to see it in a touch simulation enabled environment or in a desktop version or desktop environment. So when you click on this and then refresh your page, you can see that now it looks exactly like the website that we can see in the Chrome. So with Firefox, you can enable or disable touch simulation. With Chrome, it is enabled by default. That is the difference. So let's take a look at how this is going to look like on a smaller device. This is actually how it is going to look like. So there is no information hidden. Everything is just shown. But if this is viewed on some sort of desktop, some sort of PC machine, then everything is not going to be viewed, and when you hover, then they're going to be viewed. I hope you understood what I was trying to say. And this is extremely mobile friendly. This was created because it is mobile friendly, and you can see that we can now this cursor, when the touch simulation is on, it simulates as though I'm basically swiping with my finger. That's what exactly trying to simulate for us. So this is the blog section, and then we have our footer. And it is a really responsive website. You can see even at 374, everything is stacked vertically, everything is from top to bottom. And so that's going to be it for this video. So this is the website introduction. In the next video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can get this website set up. In our next video, we are also going to talk about general styles, and that will be it. And in the video after that, we are going to go over the general layout or the overall layout of our website. So this video, it took a little bit longer because I wanted to teach you the different aspects of this website, because there is a lot to cover. There's like hundreds of lines of code when it comes to HTML and CSS. And there is a ton of new concepts, new stuff that I've covered in this website. In creating this, I had a blast creating this, and I'm sure you're going to love this as well. So see you in the next video.